Batra Daf Lamed Amud Aleph, 3 lines from the bottom. Continuing cases where the person's claiming against someone else's field. Hahuda Amar Lechaber, guy told his friend, "My pai Bahara, what are you doing, my land?" Amar Le, the guy answers him, "I'm here because Mipan Zvita, I bought it from another person." So Reuven asks Shimon, "What are you doing, my land?" Shimon says, "Oh, I bought it from Levi." The Amar Li, and he told me, that he bought it from you. And he admitted that this land used to belong to Reuven, and that was his undoing. The Amar Le is the guy at Reuven tells him back, At lav kamodik, you just admitted that this land used to be mine. Vatlos is going to be 9, you didn't buy from me. Therefore, Zeal, get out. Lav ba'ad, you have no claim against me. Reuven says, I'm evicting you from the property because you never said you bought it from me, but you still admitted that it was mine. You don't have any proof. And therefore, Kish. Marava says, Dina Kamarle, he told him correctly, and he can evict Shema. New case. What are you doing my land? Amarle answers in me, Pana Zavina, I bought it from Levi, and I had it for 3 years. Amarle, the Reuven tells Shimon, what do you mean? You bought it from Levi? Tanya Gazano, Levi is a thief. He stole from me. Amarle, what do you mean he's a thief? I have witnesses. Like yesterday and last week in the shul, people were there that can testify that I asked you whether or not I should buy that property. The Amart Li Zil Bezavin. You said, yeah, go buy it. All right, so this is land on West First. I spoke to you in shul the other day. You said I asked you, should I buy it from Levi? You said, yeah, buy it. But then, why would you tell me to buy it if you just said it's yours? Tamar says, Amalei answered him back, Hashani no I'd rather take it from the second guy because the first guy is more difficult. Which means Reuven says, yes, I did advise you that, but for a selfish reason. Really, the land did belong to me. But the Levi who stole it from me was very hard to difficult to deal with. Let's say he's mafia, for example. I don't want to deal with him. So when you offered to buy it, I said, yeah, you buy it. Because I know I could wrestle it out of your hands much easier than Levi. Next, Amar Rabba says, Dina Kamarle, unfortunately, even though you advised him and he didn't do a fully kosher thing, he can still evict him, and that is the law. Kiman, who does that go according to Admon? It goes according to Admon. Mishnah says, if someone challenges someone else's ownership, saying, "What are you doing with my land?" And had one witness that currently, and one of the witnesses is this guy. So, like in our case, Reuven says to Shimon, "What are you doing with my land? It belongs to me." Shimon says, "No, I bought it from Levi, and not only did I buy it from Levi, you signed on the sale document. So that obviously it must be mine if you admitted to the sale." Admon says, we see from here, Admon holds that you can claim that I facilitated this just so that I can get it from you versus him because he's more difficult. The Chachamim say, no, once you kind of wrote into the document, you're kind of admitting to the fact, and therefore you can't evict him. The problem with this is, why is that a question? Because Admon is arguing with Chachamim. Admon is one person, Chachamim are obviously multiple, and usually the many rabbis, not a single. So why does our Mishnah go this halacha go according to a single Rabbi Admon versus Chachamim? The Gemara says maybe this case is different because the Chachamim would agree over here. Over by that case regarding this document, Chachamim say the fact that he did an action signing the document that showed that he didn't own it. But over here, he was just advising him in shul to buy it. People will say things that they don't really mean just to get their own personal their own personal thing. They're blanking out of here. Just to get their own vendetta. Next. Ahuda friend. Buy my land. He told him back. I bought it from Levi. Not only did I buy from him, I've been using it for 3 years. Amalei says, yeah, I'm happy you bought it from Levi, but Levi stole it from me. Amalei says back, I have witnesses, that you came to me last night, and you said, sell it to me. Ooh, this took a different turn. Why would you ask me to buy it if you are now going to claim in court the next day that you wanted it? The guy answers him back because originally I thought, maybe I'll just buy you out without taking you to court to avoid a court case. I asked you the price. You went, you told me it was $5 million. Okay, I'd rather take you to court, but I was trying to avoid the headache. This is a good thing. It does not take away the guy's law, the guy's rule, and therefore people sometimes do the things to avoid court cases. Friend, my bad, I my land. I'm really answering back. I bought it from Levi and I used it for chazakah years. Chazakah years. The Marmalay says back to him, I have a document that says that I bought it from Levi 4 years ago. Ooh. Amalei says back to him, when I said the years chazakah, do you think I meant only 3 years? No. I had it for many years of hazakah that predates your 4-year-old document. Amar Rabba says, Avid inish de and people sometimes say, when they say hazakah years, doesn't only mean 3, it can even mean more. And therefore, it's a good claim. Vahanim that only applies the achla shebeh. The only time that it applies with the hazakah is if he had it for 7 years, yani 3 years prior to the document. The kadim hazakah because he had a full 3-year hazakah before this guy's 4-year-old document. So 4 years minus plus 3 is 7. It's a 6-year hazakah. The guy had a document after only 2 years. That's like a protest, and therefore that would have removed it. Interesting case. This guy claims that this is my family land. This guy says no, this land used to be my family. The first guy brings witnesses that it was part of his family. The second guy doesn't bring a proof that it belonged to his family, but rather he brought proof that he had a chazakah. Mar says, if the guy who's there says, if the guy did this on purpose, he said, I have chazakah, he has nothing to lie for, because if he wanted to lie and steal, he could have said, I bought it from you, and I have 3 years chazakah. Therefore, from the fact that he didn't say that, we should believe him. Mar says, we don't say that the concept of, if he wanted to lie, therefore we should believe him. Now, people sometimes we say, if he wanted to lie, he could have said something else and we would have believed him, therefore we should believe him now, like a migu. That only applies when there's no edim. Over here, edim therefore doesn't work. Let's say the guy then says, okay, fine. In the avatach, yes, I agree, it belonged to your father, your family. And I bought it from them. Therefore, when I'm saying that it belonged to my family, not that it would belong to my family as well, rather, I have it secure in my property as if it belonged to my father. So yes, now the guy is changing his claim. He says, when I said it belonged to my family, I didn't mean that it also belonged to my family. No, it belonged to your family. But I did hazakah on it, and therefore I said it's like it was my family. And therefore, he's now basically claiming that he has a better hazakah on it, and it doesn't belong to the first guy. Now, the Gemara says, To'en ve'chozer ve'to'en, is that considered a guy that is claiming and changing it and coming back with a new claim? And a guy can't claim and go back and change it. Ula Amar said, To'en ve'chozer, that's a person can claim, go back and claim again. Nadra Amar the Navi says, he can't go back and forth. Now we're going to talk about what does that mean. Ula will agree that you can. If he says, it was my father's land and not your father's land. That's not a new claim. He's adding to the claim. And that only applies is where he was still in the courtroom and when does it not work is when he leaves the courtroom and comes back. If he says something, goes out, then comes back and changes it, that doesn't work. My time because why? Why doesn't that work? Because obviously his friends told him what to say. Like someone outside advised him. But if he qualified he fixed he changed what he was trying to say, then it's fine if it stays in the courtroom. That I would also agree. If the guy who's claiming to the challenger, it was my father that belonged to her father, that's just modifying his claim. And also he says that even if the guy was outside and was talking to the litigant and he said, yeah, this is what I'm gonna say in court. And then when he goes to court, he didn't say that. That unless he comes in the court and he says something else completely different. So outside the court, he said, yeah, I'm gonna claim in court that ABC. Then he goes into court and does not claim that. That's not considered changing his claim. Why? That's not a problem. Because the person does not usually show his cards before going to court. The person does not tell the guy what he's going to claim in court, and therefore, even if he quote unquote changes from what he's saying outside and he gets to court, it's considered a new claim, not a problem. Says, I know that I hold that you're not a reclaim. Is that you may claim and return to make another claim. Right. So basically, you're allowed to reclaim, but there's like restrictions. So if the second claim is a new claim that does not make sense with the first claim, everybody agrees not good. If the second claim adds information to the first one without changing the first one, that's fine. And also, obviously, if even if you're adding on, but you left and came back in, that's considered changing it, and that wouldn't be good.